The New York Mets have made a signing, but it was not the signing I was hoping for, as they got outfielder Kevin Pillar on a one-year major league deal. We don't know the exact money yet. Hopefully it's not too much. This was not exactly priority number one. So obviously in this video, I'm going to react to the Kevin Pillar signing, my thoughts about it, what it means for the team. Now, had the Mets not already signed Albert Almora Jr., I would have been a little better with this deal, because I would have been like, okay, Mets could still use another center fielder that's a little better defensively than Brandon Nimmo, and ideally is right-handed. And Kevin Pillar gives you that. He had a very good year in 2020, and he's had good offensive years in the past. The problem is that Kevin Pillar looked like he was going to be this elite center field defender. He has declined very quickly when you look at his outs above average, so this signing doesn't exactly make the most sense in the world. If you like this video talking about the Pillar signing, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below, what do you think about this Kevin Pillar signing? I'm really curious to hear what you guys think, and what moves you see the Mets doing next. And then you can press subscribe, really makes my day. So let's talk about this Pillar signing. Another interesting aspect of it is just the fact that Jackie Bradley Jr. is still out there. Yes, it makes sense to wait for the DH, but still, I would wait for Kevin Pillar too. I'm not in a rush to get him right now. What bothers me the most about this signing is that after Justin Wilson going to the crosstown Yankees for only $4 million, why are you signing Kevin Pillar instead of Justin Wilson? Again, I just don't understand the Mets' plan. I don't understand their priorities, because if I'm Sandy Alderson or I'm Zach Scott or whoever, and I'm like, okay, you know, spring training is coming up soon, what other moves could we make right now for the team? I look at what's available and what the team needs. I don't just go and say, oh, Kevin Pillar, that's who we need. Boom, let's get him. Now, as far as how the roster shakes up with Almora already being on the team, the Mets are fortunate that both Almora and Jose Martinez have minor league options. So the Mets could always just start the season with Albert Almora in the minor leagues if he shows that his offense is not really doing well in spring training. Let's say Almora got hurt, then you could still have Kevin Pillar. Again, he's not great defensively, but I mean, there were too many other options out there because Jake Marisnick signed, Billy Hamilton signed. I know we don't love those guys, but if we're looking for center field defense, they provide that. But again, Pillar is more so an offensive guy, especially him being right-handed. The good news is that I saw that the Mets are indeed looking at Trevor Rosenthal and Taijuan Walker, which are two guys that are number 1 and 2 on my list right now as for what's available in the free agent market. What the Mets could really use, those are the two guys that make sense. Yes, both of them have risk, but both also have upside. When those guys are healthy, especially Taijuan Walker, he's been effective, and Trevor Rosenthal was much better in 2020 than he was in 2019. Relievers could be every other year, but again, when you look at the other guys that are out there, would you rather go after Shane Green, maybe Jeremy Jeffries? He's also up and down. So again, what other moves are you really going to make? If it was up to me, I would like to sign the pitchers that I'm going to have before pitchers and catchers report. I just want them to start right in the beginning with everybody else, get accommodated with the team. But what I will say is that if the Mets are able to get Walker and Rosenthal, I would actually be very happy. And I say, okay, let's see what happens this season, because as much as people want to complain, and I've complained plenty about the Mets offseason, this team definitely has improved from last year. They've made a lot of signings. Whether it was all the players we wanted, no, it wasn't, but they definitely made some pretty important moves. The Lindor and Carrasco one obviously stand out the most, but upgrading catcher, we know they needed to do. Upgrading center field defense, they kind of did it, but we really wanted some more pitching, and they did that with Carrasco. They did that with getting back Marcus Stroman, bringing on Trevor May, bringing on Aaron Loop, and then we'll see what happens with the Lucchesi and the Yamamoto, Eichhoff, etc. But again, if the Mets could have Rosenthal and Walker, all of a sudden your bullpen is definitely better than it was. Your rotation is definitely better having those guys instead of the Porcello and the Waka and the Gazelman and Corey Oswald and guys like that. One last possible thing to consider is that maybe the Mets could put Brandon Nimmo in a trade for one of those third basemen, whether it's Matt Chapman, Chris Bryant, Eugenio Suarez. I still don't see that happening. I don't want to give up Brandon Nimmo. Like, I don't love using Kevin Pillar over Brandon Nimmo, so I don't know if that's the Mets thinking. Again, I still can't exactly figure out what their plan is, because I still just don't understand why you pick Kevin Pillar over Justin Wilson. We'll see what other moves the Mets do, so until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy, and let's go Mets.